Although I have used illustrative images in order to help explain my story, yet this is not a fictional content nor is it an AI story. This is the genuine real-life story of how I became a born-again Christian. It all started from my family. If you are blessed by watching this testimony, please share it with others and spread the good news of salvation. Thank you. In a village of Ardèche, in France, a young man called Marius has returned home after fighting in World War I. After a season renewing with civil life, he takes a deep interest in studying the Bible. He decides to travel to Switzerland and attend a theology program in order to become a Jesuit priest. After this preparation to become a priest, he is embarked on a mission to Africa. He starts with Arabic countries, then settles in colonial Black Africa. He is under the authority of the Catholic Church. He is described as a generous, multi-talented and gifted young man, who is loved by the local population. But he is also a free, independent spirit with a strong, stubborn character. After a while there is a conflict with the church authority and he chooses to return to the freedom of civil life. He sets up a car repair shop at his house and opens a photography studio booth where locals get their portraits taken. He also works as a public building garden designer. His heart is still torn between his spiritual calling as a priest and the creative yearnings of civil life. He is also still very attracted to women. One day he meets a beautiful young woman, who comes from an established family. She moves in with him as his wife, under African traditional matrimony but not under legal administrative marriage. They become my grandparents, the parents of my father. A few years before this, in the heart of colonial administration era, a French engineer was trying to obey the instructions he had received from his employer to successfully build a bridge in the city. However, strange events kept occurring, deadly accidents, unexpected delays and other calamities. After another worker's injury, a team of locals approached the engineer and complained to him that a spiritual protocol had not been respected. Because building the bridge involved a body of water, the river underneath, therefore they claimed it was necessary to obtain the spiritual blessing and approval for this construction from the local spiritual authorities. There was a woman who was considered a spiritual mediator with those spirits in the water. Everyone knew that her husband had strange spiritual powers and would disappear for weeks into the water. She also could do this and they claimed there were entire cities underwater. Her husband was no longer there but the bridge workers team went to see her in order to beg for her help in appeasing the spirits in the water, so that the construction project could continue in peace. She performed the necessary rituals and gave them the permission to build. And this woman was the mother of my grandmother. She was my great-grandmother. It is her beautiful daughter that Marius had fallen for, and their son, my father, was already on the way. My father, Roger, was the apple of his grandmother's eye. He spent a lot of his childhood with her, closely following her everywhere. She taught him deep spiritual things, how to become a priest working with familiar spirits and powers hidden in the water. He was not like most typical racially mixed boys of that colonial era. He was extremely attached to his African culture and he craved knowledge and power. This passion and his special bond to his grandmother would later have heavy spiritual consequences not only on himself but on his future children. As a student and the son of a former soldier, he decided to pursue aviation. He went to the south of France and studied at a military academy in order to become a pilot. But behind his successful professional life, there remained a deep fascination for the spiritual world and the teachings of his grandmother. Roger marries very young and already has 4 children by the time he graduates from the aviation academy in France. He took his wife with him to live in France while he pursued his degree. At this time she was a mother of 4 and now pregnant with twins, but Roger started experiencing major financial setbacks and calamities. He constantly had to borrow from friends, and he started drinking, gambling and womanizing. One day his pregnant wife slipped and fell into the stairs in their apartment in France. She died and lost her twins as well. Their 4 children are sent back to live with family in Africa. Back in Africa, in another family, an ambitious young man called Ali took the opportunity years ago to travel to Paris, France and study medicine. He returned as a veterinarian and opened a cabinet in town. He was an intellectual who loved reading, and he created a festival of arts to promote traditional musicians. As he grew older and more popular with the local population, he took an interest in politics and started campaigning. He was involved in many community battles and many humanitarian efforts against famine and malaria. He became very respected and financially comfortable.